Hello travelers! It's Christmas season all over the world, but there are a few countries that take Christmas to the incredible extremes that they do in the Philippines. If you are looking for some of the most wild and amazing Christmas traditions, you are in the right place, as we'll show you all the amazing things the Philippines bring to the season. But before we go through the list, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you won't miss any of our future travel videos. We have plenty of holiday videos on the way that you don't want to miss. Welcome to Tenzi's Travel. I'm Julia, and this is our list of 10 amazing Christmas traditions in the Philippines. Number 10. Monito Monita. Christmas is a time of giving and exchanging gifts with those close to us. In the Philippines, however, this tradition is pushed even further, making for a much more entertaining and heart-pounding experience. Enter Monito Monita. It is basically the Filipino version of exchanging gifts, but instead of doing it just once, it is done in set intervals. It can be daily, weekly, or however frequent the group decides it to be. Now, you might be thinking that this tradition is only for the rich and affluent. After all, daily gifts can get expensive. But this custom is popular across the country where almost everyone participates, and the gifts are usually small and inexpensive. So don't fret, you can even create the gift yourself. To find out who your Monito or Monita is going to be, you draw names from a box or bowl. Once you pick a name, you can never share the identity with anyone. You only reveal who it is during Revelation Day, which is the date you all agree to do the exchange gift. So if it's daily, it can be on the next day. You come up to your Monito or Monita and give them their surprise present. But the fun doesn't end there. The gifts are decided via themes or categories. For example, something red, something wet, something made of wood, pretty much those that are subject to more than one interpretation, so it stimulates everyone's imagination and creativity. The participants then have to be creative in choosing a gift that's still relevant to the agreed theme. The ingenuity of the participants is what makes Monito Monita all the more amusing. Everyone might end up opening the same kind of gifts, or shocked at the variety. Either way, it's all for great laughs. Number 9. Awaiting aguinaldo from godparents. In most Western countries, a child will usually have one godparent, but could have as many as 3 godparents. In the Philippines, though, that's an extremely small number. A kid can have as many as 20 godparents, and that means more aguinaldos for your little ones. Aguinaldo is a Spanish term for bonus, but Filipinos know it as a Christmas gift, either monetary or material, given to kids by their godparents. Their ninong or ninang, as they endearingly call them. In a way, ninongs and ninangs become their godchildren's glorified Santa Clauses. When December draws near, parents start a friendly banter with their peers, saying, "Ninong, my kid is already looking for you and the aguinaldo." That's why there's a perennial joke in the Philippines that before the Christmas season, godparents begin vanishing into thin air because they're hiding from their godchildren. While there are times when this tradition becomes abused, it's non-obligatory to give aguinaldo to your godchild. It's more of a long-standing custom. It's all for reconnecting with people close to you while having good fun during the holidays. And as people always say, Christmas is really for the kids, and kids at heart. Number 8. Attending late-night mass. The Philippines is known as a Catholic country. That's an established fact. But did you know that before Christmas Day, Filipinos have a tradition of attending late-night mass? This isn't too unusual, but in the Philippines, they take it to a whole new level by attending not just for one night or even 3 nights, but for 9 consecutive nights. Hanukkah, you have a challenger. This is known as Simbang Gabi, otherwise known as Misa de Gallo in Spanish, literally meaning a Mass of the Rooster. Now, you must be wondering, Mass of the Rooster? Why? That's because originally this series of Eucharistic celebrations occurred at 4 o'clock in the morning, the same time when roosters would usually crow. But as time went by, it was moved to 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening as consideration for people's work schedules. What makes it a special series of celebration? Well, it's considered as a spiritual preparation for the birth of Christ. However, there's an even more notable reason why some Filipinos complete it. There's an ongoing belief that when you attend all 9 masses, you can make a wish and it will come true. Do that again the next year, then you can make another wish. Aladdin's genie can just have the 3 wishes all to himself then. If this tradition sounds familiar, you may remember it from our video on Christmas traditions in Mexico. Be sure to check out that video when you are done watching this one. Number 7. Setting up a Belen. If you ask Filipinos what the reason for celebrating Christmas is, there's only one answer. It's to remember Christ's birth. And what better way to commemorate that than to reenact the nativity scene? Look no further, the Belen is here. The Belen is a traditional Filipino Christmas decor that depicts the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem, the infant in a manger. Mary and Joseph alongside him, the 3 wise men who came to visit, the shepherds and their animals, the star pointing the way, the whole shebang. If you remember the funny scene in Modern Family, this is precisely where Gloria's baby Jesus is supposed to be. This ornament is so well loved in the Philippines that there is even a festival in Tarlac dedicated to it, called Belenismo. It's a competition to see who creates the best. What else? Belen. People tend to get creative with this one. Some have an Eiffel Tower themed design, others make it more plant-like, while there are those that bend the original scene further by replacing the shepherds with present-day professionals, nurses, firefighters. It's up to the creator. It truly is one of the reasons why Christmas in the Philippines is different, in an awesome way. Number 6. Indulging in Christmas dishes. If you have Filipino friends, you'd know one thing: they love to eat. And Christmas is no exception to their stomach-filled gusto, perhaps exponentially multiplied even. During the holiday season, the streets are as colorful as the decorations because of their yummy cuisines. After the night masses, you'll be greeted by the likes of bibingka, a sweet glutinous rice cake concocted with coconut cream, sugar, and ground rice, as well as puto bumbong, a violet-colored dessert served with coconut, sugar, and butter. Oh, but wait, there's more! Households usually cook lechon, practically a whole roasted pig that has a crispy exterior but a mouth-watering juicy interior. Pair that with lumpiang ubod, a spring roll dish filled with veggies, shrimp, coconut, and more. Dessert, anyone? Finish it up with leche flan, a sweet custard dessert made from egg yolk, milk, and a whole lot of love. The food is just one of the many reasons why Christmas in the Philippines is the best. We dare you to do a man versus food with all these delectable meals. Number 5. Eating at midnight for Noche Buena. When we say Filipinos love to eat, that sounds like an extreme understatement. And Christmas Eve, everyone wakes up at 12 midnight just to feast on even more scrumptious food. This food extravaganza is called Noche Buena, which is Spanish for good night. Appropriate given you have to be up during the wee hours of the night. This decadent meal will fatten anyone up. You have glazed holiday ham, queso de bola or idam cheese, hot chocolate made from tablia, Filipino-style sweet spaghetti, and of course the famous combo of lumpia and pancit, among others. Basically, it's a carbs on carbs on carbs galore. The Noche Buena is a Filipino tradition that officially marks the beginning of the actual Christmas day. Consider it like a birthday celebration, but for the infant Jesus. Usually this is also the time when they start opening their gifts. If this sounds like it is just another excuse to bring yummy food into the equation, well, it probably is. But is that really a bad thing? Number 4. Singing Christmas carols. The Philippines have gained global acclaim for introducing incredible singers. You have 2-time Disney princess and Broadway icon Lea Salonga, driver's license singer Olivia Rodrigo, and Pussycat Dolls front act Nicole Scherzinger. Now imagine all that talent and a dash of holiday spirit, and you have Filipino Christmas carols. During Christmas season, kids and adults alike roam the streets, going from one house to another to sing Christmas carols. It's a way of spreading the holiday cheer in the neighborhood through singing and merrymaking. Once the set is done, homeowners would come out to give any amount of money to the carolers, then they move on to the next house. When Christmas carols started as a tradition, carolers only had makeshift tambourines to accompany their singing, but now others bring actual instruments, rope in what appears to be a choir with them, while some even dance and throw people in the air like cheerleaders. No Jingle Bell Rock from Mean Girls could ever top that. Number 3. Starting Christmas in September. I think we can all agree that almost everyone in the world loves Christmas. Italians usually put up their decorations by December 8, while those in the US start sometime during Thanksgiving. You think that's early? Well, the US needs to step back and hold the Philippines beer while they get their Christmas started in September. That's alright, households and malls start the festivities more than 3 months before Christmas Day. By the time the bear months arrive, you can already see people putting up Christmas trees while blasting Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You on the radio. You'll know that you have a Filipino neighbor when, as early as September, their house looks festive already. But why so early? While some argue that it may be due to 100 days before Christmas countdowns, it may be deeper than that. Filipinos are known to have a strong sense of family. The holiday is an opportunity for people to reconnect and bond once more. Thus, they take every opportunity to grab hold of it. Even if you're not a blood relative but you had an impact in their lives, you're considered family and invited in during the festivities. Don't you just love that? Number 2. Ending Christmas in January. It's hard to let a good thing end so soon, right? The same applies for the Christmas merrymaking in the Philippines. That's why it's their tradition to drag it on up until January. While they end Christmas season usually around the first Sunday of January during the Feast of the Epiphany, sometimes they go further than that. Some would hold on to the festivities up until the Feast of Santo Nino, meaning the Christ Child, which is by the third Sunday of January. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they dragged it on up until Chinese New Year in February. Similar to the reason why one of the Christmas traditions in the Philippines is starting the celebration in September, they end it later than everyone else because it's a great time to reconnect, be it over gifts, food, or simply being together. Christmas is obviously a good time for Filipino families to bond. Number 1. Creating parol. Arguably the most unique and notable Filipino Christmas tradition is creating a parol. This flamboyant Christmas lantern depicts a 5-pointed star, the very same that led the shepherds and the wise men to where the infant Jesus was born. This ornament is originally made of bamboo sticks and colorful Japanese paper. It's so popular in the Philippines that even kids are taught how to make them. Over the years, it has evolved and revolutionized into something that would inspire awe. Others are made with recycled materials, some are lit up with LED lights. The only limit is your imagination. It is a well-loved ornament that there is a province that perfects the creation of this astounding Christmas decor, so much that they created the Giant Lantern Festival and made it its claim to fame. Once you see a parol, you immediately think Filipino. You have Disney UK's Christmas advert depicting a grandma and a granddaughter with a parol, and Miss Universe 2018 Katrina Gray even had a huge parol as a backdrop for her national costume. Truly, parol is one of the many reasons why Christmas in the Philippines may just be the best Christmas. So what do you think of these unique Filipino Christmas traditions? Have you experienced these, or did we miss anything that's worth mentioning? Let us know in the comments below. And while there, be sure to like the video and share it with your friends who you think is most likely to take Christmas the extremes they do in the Philippines. If you liked this video, you will also like these other videos. And if you have already watched these, then be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our future travel videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.